Thanks, Danita. It's great to be with you all this morning. Can I begin by also acknowledging traditional owners and custodians on whose land we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd like to extend that acknowledgement and respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who are with us today. And it's a pleasure to join you here at your Master Builders National Leaders Summit. I want to acknowledge obviously Danita Warren, CEO of Master Builders, Craig Edmonds, President of the Master Builders, all of the board members of the Master Builders, Wayne Swan, Chair of Cbus, and Justin Arter, CEO of Cbus. Safe, secure and affordable housing for Australians is a priority for the Albanese government. Home is the foundation on which we build our lives, our families and our communities. Without a stable home, people find it difficult to be healthy, to stay in education, to find and to keep jobs and to lead purposeful lives. There's so much in life you cannot address if you don't have an address. But as all of you know, housing supply has not kept pace with demand. That is obvious to anybody currently trying to find a place to call home, whether as a buyer, a renter, or as a social housing applicant. The challenge has been with us for many years, but has been made worse by COVID-19. You all know that residential construction activity has been constrained by supply disruptions, material and labour shortages, and over the last 12 months impacted by natural disasters such as floods. We know they are complex issues. We know that there are no easy solutions, and we know that we can't fix this overnight. But they can be addressed, and they can be addressed with a collaboration, with consultation and with commitment. Last October, we brought the states, territories, the local government association, investors, representatives from the construction sector together under the National Housing Accord. As you all know, this accord sets an aspirational target of 1 million homes, well-located homes, to be delivered over 5 years from mid-2024. Under that accord, our government will provide $350 million over 5 years to deliver an additional 10,000 affordable homes. The states and territories will also support up to an additional 10,000 affordable homes. On top of that, of course, the government has a comprehensive housing legislative package, which I will be introducing into Parliament this week. It will support ongoing work in the construction industry, including new social and affordable housing. Indeed, on Thursday, I look forward to introducing the Housing Australia Future Fund Bill, which establishes a $10 billion fund to support 30,000 new social and affordable homes to be built in the first 5 years of the fund's operation and to address acute housing needs. The National Supply and Affordability Council Bill 2023 will enshrine the independence of the Council in legislation. The Council is an important part of the government's agenda and will provide advice on options to improve housing supply and affordability. It will monitor and report on conditions in the housing sector, including demand and supply. We'll also be introducing the Treasury Laws Amendment Housing Measures No. 1 Bill 2023, which will create Housing Australia. Housing Australia will help deliver the government's commitment of 40,000 new social and affordable dwellings through the National Accord and through the National Housing Australia Future Fund. Housing Australia will be directed by an investment mandate issued by myself and will take over the existing responsibilities of the National Housing Finance and Investment Corporation. Indeed, we'll be widening its remit. As I said, the last few years have been tough for everyone, but the housing industry has been battling on many fronts. We've talked about the skill shortages, difficulties securing supplies of steel, concrete and timber particularly, surging demand frustrated by supply chain blockages, and soaring construction costs and completion times for detached homes that continue to stretch out. The statistics are stark, and I noticed you released your report today. We know that house construction material prices rose 14.2% over the year to the December quarter of 2022, although we do know the pace of the growth has slowed. The average completion times for new houses finished in the June quarter reached 9 months. That was 25% higher than the preceding year. This has reduced margins for many builders and may have pushed some of the high-profile builders into insolvency. But there are early signs that the constraint capacity may be easing. After the fall for 3 consecutive quarters to the June quarter, dwelling investment grew by 1% in the September quarter. Treasury expects residential construction activity will begin to decline later in the 2023-24 year, as the existing pipeline of work built up over the pandemic becomes completed. However, the government anticipates that construction of social and affordable housing supported by the Housing Australia Future Fund and then the National Accord will help maintain some of this building activity and support ongoing investment in residential construction. More broadly, other government initiatives will also have a flow-on effects for the construction industry, such as the National Reconstruction Fund, which I notice is in the news today. The government's $15 billion National Reconstruction Fund will support diversity and transform Australia's industry and economy. It will invest across 7 priority areas: renewables and low emission technologies, medical science, transport, value-added agriculture, forestry and fisheries, value-added resources, defence capability and enabling capabilities. This fund will be governed by an independent board making independent investment decisions to deliver a positive rate of return and will be able to invest through a range of loans, equities and guarantees. The fund will help develop capabilities, secure future prosperity and drive sustainable economic growth in Australia. For example, not only are Australian manufacturers among the biggest suppliers to the residential construction industry, and they may be eligible for financing under the National Reconstruction Fund, but manufacturers may look to invest in new facilities to capture new opportunities and develop new capabilities. The government has committed over $300 million over the next 5 years to support and assist Australia's forest industries to expand the plantation estate and improve productivity. This includes $73.8 million in grants for private investors, state and territory forestry enterprises and farm foresters to establish new plantations. There will be $220 million in total for forest growers and timber processors. The breakdown of this includes a grant round for the Accelerated Adoption of Wood Processing Innovation Program to encourage better use of the available wood supplies. The grant round is open until late February. $100 million for the transformative research through the Australia-wide National Institute for Forest Products Innovation that will be based in Tasmania. $10 million to support delivery of training and accreditation for workers in the forest wood products, pulp, paper and fibre sectors. These measures will help address some of the supply constraints and the supply chain issues. They include long-term domestic timber supply through plantation expansion, but importantly, they support better use of the logs and the wood fibre that we currently have available by value adding and innovation in the processing sector. We know that critical skills and labour shortages will be further eased through a number of government actions, including, of course, our increasing the permanent migration program from 160,000 to 190,000 in the 2022-23 year, providing an additional $42.2 million to accelerate the visa processing and reduce the visa backlog, which I know is impacting some of you, and raise awareness of opportunities for high-skilled migrants. With states and territories, of course, we're providing the 480,000 fee-free TAFE places, and the first 180,000 places will be delivered this year, and construction is, of course, one of the priorities. The government will also deliver the skills guarantee to ensure 1 in 10 workers on major federally funded projects is an apprentice, trainee or paid cadet. There are also specific sub-targets for women. This guarantee will be extended under the National Housing Accord to include apprentices on government-funded housing projects. As I've outlined, we know there's no quick fixes, but we believe that we have the policies connected to make sure that we can make a difference. There is a web of interconnected issues across investment, supply chains, forestry, timber, transport, skills, labour, education, training, migration, social services, telecommunications, infrastructure, climate change and disaster readiness. The work has already begun. I want to reassure you that we're on the job and we're not going to waste a day implementing our ambitious housing agenda and our other policies to support the sector. Thank you.